Hey everyone, it's your girl Rack Famous Star, aka Raquel. So sorry, I keep saying a lot. I realize that like in my other videos, and I don't mean to. Uh, ah! Okay, so this is the episode 4 recap vlog. It aired Wednesday night, and there's another episode tonight. It's gonna be so big and juicy. Okay, so John or Johnny Mac, I now realize that he's like always yelling. It's just like, like not when he's talking to his other castmates, but when he's in the diary room. I mean, it's not really anything that like is a big deal, but you'll notice it now that I pointed out. Like I noticed it when someone else pointed it out. Okay, so now they're like trying to scatter and see, like, okay, how many votes do we need to backdoor somebody? And so there's 16 people left in the House, 3 people can't vote, the 2 nominees in the HOH, so at least 13 people. How many votes do they need to backdoor? They need the majority, so they need 7 out of the 13. And, okay, I felt that in the beginning, at the beginning of the episode, James was doing way, way too much. Like, I don't know. I just felt like he was just all over the place and like, oh, well, what are we gonna do? Like it was just annoying. I would not want to work with him. I'd pretend, week 1 so I could be safe, but then he's not really a threat to my game. He's somebody that can go like, week 5. I wouldn't send him to jury because of the power he thinks he has. So that's why I wouldn't, but I would definitely try to send him home soonish. Jace, okay. Jace is like, he was like one of the focal points of this episode. So Jace, he streaked through the backyard with like I think it was a cowboy hat on his little privates. And everyone was kind of like, so it wouldn't feel like too awkward. But then everyone was kind of just looking around. It was kind of just like, who told you that was okay? Like, who told you to do that? It was just weird. Austin the big guy, he knows that Jace isn't a good look. And I think he should try to separate himself as much as he can. Like, yeah, like, that's a person and you don't want to like neglect their feelings as a person, but at the same time, this is a game. We'll be friends outside of the house, but not here. You're gonna mess up my game. And they made an alliance. I think it was Audrey, James, Austin, and Jace, called Cloud Town. My face wants to do that emoji, like, with the eyes and the lips, or the mouth straight across. That's what I drew on my little paper. That was the stupidest thing known to mankind. Seriously, and he was the only, well, besides Austin, but like, oh, that was so cool. Yeah, that's totally. I would have been like, shut the hell up. That don't make no sense. I don't know. I mean, I get that everyone, tries to like make the HOH like, oh, we should be in an alliance. Yeah, we should totally work together. I'm sorry, no. No! If I'm HOH, do not come kissing my butt unless we were friends before. And if you're HOH, unless we were friends before, like, yeah, I wouldn't put you up, but we're not working together. We're not going to become an alliance just because you're in power this week. Like, I don't know. I think that's so annoying when people do that, but I guess it's part of the game, and it's like a natural instinct to want to do that. Okay, another thing happened. Davon and Clay, they didn't fight, but they like, verbally fought. And it was dumb. It was so dumb. Like, I understand that, it's everyone's house and but you can't be starting stuff and think, oh, well, I'm right. Like, I don't think she had to explain herself, but I think explaining herself in this case would have benefited her. Like, I was just walking around the house counting stuff. You know, like, I don't think, because it was kind of like weird, you know, like she just walked in, like, walked in the room, no one was in there, and then walked out. Like, I think she could have just, you know, I'm just counting stuff, you know, like I'm not doing any, you know, like, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I think she got really defensive about it, and like, you don't mess with a girl from Inglewood, and girl, like, I don't know. That's why I just don't like it when they put one black person in there, because somebody needed to calm her down. I would have been like, girl, you are embarrassing me right now. Like, I would have been like, you know what, you need to let it go. Like, if I walk out this room and you're still mad, and I look at the tapes, and, you know, I'm going to still be friends with you because you my dog. But if I look at the tapes after the fact and you still mad, that's going to work my nerves, and I don't know, I'm not inviting you to my family barbecue. But yeah, and Audrey, she was kind of playing both sides of the little argument, and I thought that was, like, not very good on her game, because Audrey was the last person Davon, I don't know why I did quotes on her name. I meant to say Davon kind of trusted. So I don't think that was very good on Audrey's game, and I think, okay, I'm gonna talk about Audrey in a second. Okay, then they played for the veto, and so the HOH, the two nominees, Jackie and Steve, played. The dentist, I forgot who else played. But Austin was the host. Okay, so basically they were digging for gold in noses in Nova Scotia. And they got points for, it was kind of like Scrabble, but like on your own board. Like the spelling game that they always play, but each letter had points. It was kind of cool. Steve, he ended up winning with the word trombonist. I think it was like a 16-point word. I don't know. It was a pretty like lengthy, pointy word. Pointy. I think it was the first time that everybody spelt their words right, like with an actual word. And everyone else's words was like 6 to 8 points. So, I mean, and James was like the highest spelt pointed word for a while, not a while, but like, I think he revealed his first, and then he was the winner up until Steve revealed his. So, yeah, that was pretty much the veto. It was only 10 minutes long. You know how normally it's like until the last person spells. I think there isn't normally a time limit. I may be wrong, but whatever. Okay, let me continue. So Steve won. Of course he's gonna take himself off. Like, who's gonna say, oh, I'm gonna leave myself on? You know, like, not me. I would say I'm gonna use this veto on myself. What's that from? Okay, but, okay, Audrey. I don't know about you. I may be yelling right now like John, but she did the most this episode. Like, the absolute most. Okay, she kept bringing people into the alliance, and we saw what happened last season, the season before that. We've seen what happens on like other countries' episodes. Oh, I watched Canada and I watched Australia's, but Australia's plays it different. I would have watched that. But Canada's, you know, like, you see when people bring a lot of people into an alliance, like, that's not gonna work. You gotta keep it to 4 or 5 people, and then you gotta have secret alliances within those 4 or 5 people. So, I don't know. Like, okay, first it was Audrey, James, and Jason, I think. And then she was like, this is really good, you know. And then she goes and gets Jeff. Then she goes and gets Shelly. But Jeff is laying with Meg, okay? So she's like, Jeff, I need you now. And he's like, no. And she's like, come on, like. So she gets Jeff, who's laying with Meg, and brings her up. Then she goes and gets Shelly, who was laying somewhere else in the room. And then goes and gets Clay. And then after goes and gets Meg, who was laying with Jeff. The first, I was like, girl, leave me alone. Like, she was acting like she's permanent HOH for the season. I was like, oh my gosh. It was an 8 million person alliance. Like, I would have been so mad. And I don't think it was her time to go yet. I think that would have been kind of a little uproar. But I think she needs to go soon because it was so annoying. Like, I don't know. I didn't like that. And I would have been like, you think you're on a power trip? Just wait until you do win HOH. Like, oh God. It's going to be the worst. Okay, so I'm going to continue on from that. Jace. So, okay. Steve ended up taking himself off the block, and everyone knows the plan was to put Jace as a replacement nominee. Even though it was kind of wavery, James was kind of wavery and was like, I might put up Audrey. You know, she's putting a target on her back. But so Jace ended up being the replacement nominee, and okay, I'll be feeling a little bad for people. Like, if you gonna backdoor me, at least let me know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying so I can fight for myself. You know, like, so I could just prepare my thoughts or something. I don't know. But he was hurt, and he didn't think, you know, like, that was gonna, like, I know he couldn't have possibly thought that alliance that he made was gonna hold through. But I don't know, I just kind of felt bad that his little poor feelings were hurt. So I'm sorry this video was like forever long, but there was just so much. And tonight's episode is gonna be for it. Oh my gosh. There's so much happening tonight. Tonight, there's gonna be the eviction, reveal of the twin twist, BB takeover, and the HOH. Hopefully they play it out and they don't have to like have us like till Sunday. That was my crackhead scratch. But I don't know. I'm really excited for this season. Okay, so who do I think is going to win? I'm still down. I think Meg. I like her, and I think Meg or Shelly, because they're kind of flying under the radar, but people really like them. I don't think it's gonna be Clay. Even though I would say Clay, but he working my nerves. But I'm not in the house, so I can't vote to evict him. But if America gets a chance, I'm gonna vote to evict Clay. Alright, that's it for me. It was great talking to you. I really want to start a podcast, but I don't know how. Once again, if someone could help me figure that out. But it was great talking to you guys. Comment down below. I think someone tried to comment last week, but I don't know what happened. Like it if you like what I'm saying. Subscribe and share with your friends. It was good talking to you guys. Bye!